What is the Supremacy Clause from McCulloch v. Maryland? Imagine a situation where two different levels of government have conflicting laws. Which law should take precedence? This question became central in a landmark United States Supreme Court case known as McCulloch v. Maryland. The case addressed fundamental issues about the balance of power between the national government and state governments. In this case, the state of Maryland attempted to impose a tax on the Second Bank of the United States, which was a federally established institution. James McCulloch, who was the cashier of the bank, refused to pay the tax, leading Maryland to sue him. The core legal question was whether the federal government had the authority to create a bank and whether a state had the power to tax that federal institution. The Supreme Court, led by Chief Justice John Marshall, ruled in favor of McCulloch. The decision established two important principles. First, that the federal government possessed implied powers beyond those explicitly listed in the Constitution. This was based on the Necessary and Proper Clause, which grants Congress the authority to pass laws necessary for executing its enumerated powers. Second, the court emphasized the importance of the Constitution's supremacy over state laws through what is known as the Supremacy Clause. The Supremacy Clause is found in the Constitution's Article 6, Clause 2. It states that the Constitution, federal laws made pursuant to it, and treaties made under its authority constitute the supreme law of the land. This means that when there is a conflict between federal law and state law, federal law prevails. The court in McCulloch clarified that this clause ensures the national government can operate effectively, and that states cannot interfere with or hinder its constitutional functions. This ruling reinforced the idea that the federal government has broad implied powers necessary to carry out its constitutional responsibilities. It also established that state laws cannot override or conflict with valid federal laws. The case set a precedent for the principle that the Constitution is the supreme law of the United States, and all laws must conform to it. In summary, the Supremacy Clause from McCulloch v. Maryland affirms that the Constitution and federal laws take precedence over state laws when conflicts arise, ensuring a unified legal framework across the nation.